Hi, everyone. So I wanted to come on here and do a quickie little behind the scenes drop on how I am planning to launch while I am on my honeymoon. Now, first of all, this is a very belated honeymoon. I didn't just get married. Eddie and I got married, secretly got married at the courthouse January 31st, 2020. Yeah, and then we had planned to actually have our wedding later in May, hence, but we just wanted to be married. So we secretly got married, planning on having a full-on wedding with all of our friends and family in May 2020, and of course COVID hit. And then we staged a whole pretended we went to the courthouse in May and just sent everyone our photos from January. It's like a hilarious thing to look back on. But anyways, we never went on a honeymoon because of COVID, and then both of our businesses being very busy, and then the Lahaina fires, and then moving on to her property, and Eddie starting another farm. And right about now, and really, my business is set up that I can travel a ton if I wanted to. I don't really love traveling, but I do have a location independent business where Eddie does not. My husband does not. He's very location dependent. He's directly dependent on the earth below his feet in specific tracts of land. So it's been a journey of him getting to the point where he feels like he can step away, especially with how involved he was post fires with helping people, and really not feeling like he was able to take any time off when people were in need. So anyways, we're finally taking our first vacation in forever, in which we're actually leaving. And I don't even know when the last time Eddie took an entire week off. So I'm excited for him more so than me. But I'm also very excited. We're going to Tahoe. I miss the snow. I'm excited to spend an entire week in the snow and just being cozy. But then, in addition to that, I decided to relaunch my copywriting course, Regenerative Copywriting Studio, which is now being called Copywriting Alchemy. I did a full rename the night before, the day before launching the opening cart for enrollment, which for any of my students listening who've been through the copywriting course or my masterminds or RBCL, I'd be curious to hear why you think I'm renaming the course, or I have already renamed the course at this point, because it should be really obvious to you. So all of December, the first half of January, I felt very confused about the direction of my business. Not that I wanted to burn it down in any way. I just wasn't feeling any creative urge to go in any direction. So I was just kind of quiet, working behind the scenes, working with clients, and just nourishing myself. And it finally hit me a week ago, mid-January, that the thing I was really excited to talk about this year was the copywriting course, or this time of the year it was Copywriting Alchemy. And I wanted to do it now. And so we pulled a lot of things together last minute, as I actually prefer to do. And it is a relaunch, so there's so many assets and testimonials and sales pages done and posts and emails written from last time. So a lot of stuff is already complete. So when I was thinking about, okay, if I actually want to have this running at the end of January while I'm going to be on my honeymoon in Tahoe, is that actually doable? Am I being ridiculous? Will I regret this? And I was just sitting with actually putting myself in my shoes of being in the snow, being in this hotel, how I'm going to be feeling every day. And my response back was like, no, this is not a big deal. If any of you watched my lazy launch training from a few months ago, I have a lot of experience launching while other things are happening. And it's really not a big deal, because once you actually start a launch and you already have all the assets created, like you have your onboarding set up and you have your pages set up and you have payment processors set up, it's really about posting and sending emails, which can be scheduled ahead of time. Or you take 5 to 10 minutes and post a post that you've already written. But I am doing a little bit more planning, because if I was just doing any sort of normal travel, I would just be like, I'll either write it all on the plane or I'll take 15 to 30 minutes every day and write something and put it out. But I don't want to rely on that this time because it's my honeymoon. And so I am doing a little bit of extra effort on the front end to really prep and have everything ready. So some things that I've already done is I already created a launch event. If you're listening to this in real time, it is available for you to listen on this here podcast, World Changing Money Making Copywriting. And if you want all the resources and the video that goes with it, you just go to play.thedirtyalchemy.com/WCMM, which is linked in the show notes below that episode. So I created a really, really value-packed, juicy launch event, pre-recorded. And that has been, I've been promoting that and really leading with a lot of value. And then I went through, when I launched Regenerative Copywriting Studio, before it was March 2024. So I went back and I looked at my emails and my Instagram posts from March 2024. And I use ConvertKit mainly for my email service provider. So I just duplicated all those emails in ConvertKit so that I can go in and make edits to the emails from before, or decide if I want to change the subject line, or decide if I just want to include that email at all. And then for all the Instagram posts, because I usually post a lot more on Instagram than I do send emails. What I'm playing with, and this is brand new, I don't know if I'll do this again, but I'm liking it so far, is I'm using Teamup, which is a free digital calendar, to do content planning and as my content calendar as I'm planning stuff out. It won't schedule or anything, but I can kind of see visually, okay, what days has posts, what doesn't, where are there gaps. Oh, and I forgot to say, before I looked at my old launch posts, I redid my ideal customer avatar worksheet, which, you know, if you've been in any of my programs, I usually include it in all of the programs. It's different than a lot of people do. There's no demographic stuff. It's all psychographic and really digging in and syncing, inviting you to sync with the people you're here to serve. And that always generates so many great writing ideas for me. So I did that. And then I went and looked at my old posts so I could see side by side, oh, what are all the new ideas I have? Did I already cover when I launched last time? And then putting that all together in Teamup so that I can see where things flow and fit. Also, what I've already done is the sales page is done. I did a full revamp of the sales page because obviously, one, the name change. We're also playing with a different landing page host. So I had to be shipped over to that other landing page host and like doing test sales and whatnot. And really so much of launching is heavy on the front end. And as you actually get into it, if you have been planning and if you prepared for it, at least coming up with ideas of what you want to post on a daily basis, during the launch is actually no big deal. So the bulk of the work is actually already done at this point. We just sent out the announcement email today about it. And don't mind the sound of my dog chewing on a bone behind me. I don't know if the mic is picking that up or not. But if you are listening to this in real time, just be aware, doing something really special right now with Copywriting Alchemy, formerly known as Regenerative Copywriting Studio, which is up until midnight Eastern time on January 30th. If you come in, it's a $300 discount, which is a 40% off discount. It's usually $7.99. It's down to $4.99. And first time ever, there's going to be live calls. So we're doing a live round of Copywriting Alchemy. Inside of that, there's 2 Q&A calls with me and 2 copywriting coaching sessions with me. And what's that's going to look like is we'll come on the call and I'll go through as many people as possible as I can during that time and I'm thinking of doing like a 10-minute max. So we come on, you have up to 10 minutes for me to review the copy that you bring to the table. This is hands down people's favorite things, both watching the replay of that, because we have 4 of those inside of Regenerative Copywriting Studio, aka Copywriting Alchemy already. And when I send out the survey to the past students, it's always like, oh my God, love that, love that, love that. It's their favorite thing. So you're actually going to have an opportunity to have your copy be a part of that and have copywriting audits on your work in real time and watch other people's, because so many copywriting programs, you're like learning trainings and you're seeing complete copy, but then to actually do it yourself and write something, like that's when the jumbling can come together where you're like, oh, is this a specific? Is this actually doing what I'm trying to do? So to have a professional actually look at it and see it be transformed and be taken from good to great. So valuable. It's so fun. So 2 of those happening, one in February, one in March. And so pretty much all I have to do from here is finalize my emails, because those can totally be scheduled ahead of time, and do the final pieces of my Instagram posts. So right now I have everything in Teamup. I know what day it's going to be done, but I actually want to have the Reels video recorded and the photos done and the carousel done, and then I'll go and schedule those in Metricool. And I mean, unfortunately, I do see such a significant difference between when I physically post on Instagram versus schedule it ahead of time, that I will be just getting an alert from Metricool every day when I'm ready, when I have it scheduled to post, so that I can download the images and the caption from Metricool. It makes it really easy, just a mobile app thing, and go and post it onto Instagram, so that I can really have like 5 minutes a day of doing that while I'm gone. And then other things I've prepped is really talking about different scenarios with my admin person who's in the customer service inbox, like what coupon codes to use if needed, or what if someone missed all the emails or has questions. And that's actually, as I'm saying this, I'm like, another really good thing would be to make a really thorough FAQ document for her, just thinking about all of the questions that could come in during the live launch. And then other automated things is I have Deadline Funnel, which is another software I use. I have it set up so that when the deadline happens, which is midnight Eastern on January 30th, all of the pages will automatically redirect to the full price pages, so that no one at midnight. I usually don't mind having midnight Eastern time deadlines for things, because it's either 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. Hawaii time, depending on whether it's daylight savings or not. So it's usually not a big deal for me too, but I'll be in Pacific time when I'm in California, and my admin person is Eastern time. So I'm using tech automation to really have that working for me. Of course, I could have just had a deadline at noon Eastern time instead, but hey, I like my midnight deadlines. And then originally we were going to have the deadline be January 31st, but then with thinking about it, it was like, oh, that's a Friday. So it'd be midnight Eastern time on a Friday. And so if any questions come in, they'll be coming in on Saturday. No one will be in until the following Monday. So none of the questions will be answered. And usually get a lot of questions and emails the day after a launch closes. So I just scooted up the final day to the Thursday, January 30th, to account for that, so that the woman in my inbox, Kelly, can actually be on for that. So I kind of have a day ahead of me, or I guess I have an entire week ahead of me, because we're not leaving for about 6 days. But one of the more time intensive things, like I know, like you always think that making images and videos for social media, like it won't take that much time. I'm like, it always takes longer than I think. I'm like, oh, I just can do this in 5 minutes because I know what I want it to look like. And I'm like, at least give it 15 minutes per thing. So I'll probably have like a good 2 hours of prepping posts. But then it'll be completely done and ready to rock when I am out and about on my honeymoon. So that is all I have for you today. Just a quick little behind the scenes of my thinking and planning. And of course, if you want support in writing world-changing, money-making copywriting, make sure you go listen to the episode from last week. It does expire on January 30th, end of day, so get on that. And if you want a piece of Copywriting Alchemy where you can write words that sell and cast spells, definitely check out Copywriting Alchemy, which is both on sale, 40% off, and you get live support with me because we're doing a live round right now. If you join before end of day, January 30th, I really hope to see you there. It is really the hidden gem in my business ecosystem, because a lot of people are like, oh, funnels. Like, I want to do funnels. I want to do visibility. Like, those are way more sexier topics. But I swear to God that copywriting is the most important thing you could possibly get good at, or even get better at as an online service provider, so that you don't have to do sales calls because your words sell for you. So you don't have to do these crazy pitches because your words sell for you. so that you can have amazingly high profit margins, because you don't have to have a team selling for you or do all of these extra things. It's just your words sell for you because they're potent, they're magnetic, they speak to the soul of the people that you're here to work with. So I'll put a link in the show notes for that for you to check it out, and talk to you soon.